Dobar vam dan, dragi šestaši, i dobrodošli na još jedan online sat engleskog jezika. Nadam se da ste se barem djelomično uspjeli odmoriti i oporaviti od svih ovih šokova koji su nas zadesili u proteklih nekoliko dana. Nadam se da ste svi dobro i da ćemo se što prije vratiti u naše škole i da ćemo se što prije vratiti u normalu. Mi nastavljamo sa našim gradivom danas, nakon što smo krenuli već na treću cjelinu i govorili o poznatim osobama u prošlosti. Today we're going to talk about adventure, dakle govorit ćemo o jednoj pustolovini. When was the last time you were in a museum? Možete li se sjetiti kada ste posljednji put bili u muzeju? What kind of a museum was it? What did you see there? What kinds of museums are there? What would you like to see in a museum? And have you ever seen a film about a museum? Jeste li ikad vidjeli neki film o nekom muzeju ili o događajima u muzeju? First thing that you're going to do today is that you're going to open your book, page 42, and you will read the story and order the paragraphs. Dakle, pauziraj video, pročitaj ovu priču i pokušaj posložiti tekst pravilnim redoslijedom. So pause the video. After you did this, let's check how you solved this task. So listen and check. Poslušaj zvučni zapis i provjeri.
Last week, Dave was on a school visit to the Natural History Museum with Mrs. Bond, his science teacher. It was a dream come true. Dave is really keen on dinosaurs, and he has always wanted to see their skeletons. He was thrilled. But it was too boring to walk around in a group. So, he decided to have an adventure. Instead, he explored the museum on his own. It was so exciting. He moved from one skeleton to another. He studied them all in detail. Suddenly, he realized that he was all alone. He looked around. Where was everyone? Dave was confused. He walked to the entrance door. The door was closed and the lights were off. He was trapped in the museum. How cool! He could do whatever he wanted to do. Dave walked around, touching the exhibits. He climbed and hugged the dinosaurs. After some time, Dave was tired and hungry. He looked for some food, but there wasn't any food in the museum. It was a bit chilly, too. It wasn't fun any longer. He tried to get in contact with his mom, but the phone was dead. He curled under the Tyrannosaurus and waited for morning. All of a sudden, there was some noise coming from the entrance hall. He listened. Was it the guard? He was up on his feet, looking at the door. The door opened. They were all there. His mom and dad, his science teacher, 2 police officers, and the guard. Dave was a little embarrassed, but happy to see them. It was the end of his adventure.
Think about the following questions. Where was Dave last week? What is he keen on? How did he explore the museum? How was it at the beginning? What did he study in detail? Was there any food at the museum? What was it like at the museum at night? What was wrong with his phone? Where did he wait for the morning? In the next task, read the verbs below. Then look at the pictures. Find the verb for each picture. Dakle, pogledaj glagole koji se nalaze u drugom zadatku, a potom i fotografije. Pronađi glagol za svaku od fotografija. So, let's see. Opened znači otvoriti. So, that would be this picture. Opening the door, opened. Explored. Istraživati. Which picture would that be? Explored. Touched. Dodirnuti. Touched. Visited. Posjetiti. this picture. Curled, skovrčati se. Curled. Realized, shvatiti. Walked, hodati. Listened, slušati. Looked for, tražiti. Climbed, penjati. Hugged, zagrliti. In task 3, try to retell Dave's stories using the verbs in task 2. Prepričaj ovu priču koristeći glagole iz drugog zadatka. Ova tablica ti može pomoći. Dakle, spoji dijelove rečenica te im dodijeli brojeve tako da prate kronološki tijek priče. Na primjer, Dave's school visited the National History Museum. Daveova škola je posjetila povijesni muzej. Dave, what happened then? Dave explored. On je istraživao the museum on his own. Dakle, on je sam istraživao taj muzej. Then Dave realized that he was alone. Dave je shvatio da je on sam. Pauziraj video i pokušaj ove rečenice dalje spojiti sam. Ovaj zadatak radit ćeš tako da rečenice redom od 1. do 11. pišeš u svoju bilježnicu. Dakle, pauziraj video i prateći ove natuknice probaj napraviti kratak sažetak priče. Jesi li uspio napisati svih 11 rečenica? Pauziraj video i provjeri kako si napisao, to jest jesi li tekst složio pravilnim redoslijedom. Now you will open your book, page 43, and you will look at this catching up text. It's Monday morning. Peter, Joe, and Ben are on their way to school. Joe looks angry. Bob and Peter look very pleased. What are they talking about? Guess. Are they talking about weather, vremenu, science test, ispitu iz prirode biologije, the weekend, vikendu, ili a new pupil in their class, o novom učeniku u svom razredu? Probajte pogoditi. Ako ste razmislili o tome, we will listen and check where was Peter, and then we're going to listen again and circle A, B, or C. Dakle, poslušat ćemo zvučni zapis i reći ćete, to jest zapisat ćete u svoju bilježnicu gdje je Peter bila i zaokružiti odgovore A, B ili C.
Hi guys.
Hi Joe, you look awful.
I'm angry. My weekend was a disaster. I stayed in bed with a stomachache.
That's awful.
Did you stay at home, Ben?
No, I didn't. I was at the cinema.
What did you watch?
A Journey to the Center of the World.
Did you like it?
I loved it. And you, Peter?
Well, my weekend was awesome.
Did you go to the cinema?
No, I didn't. You'll never guess where I was.
Come on, Peter. Did you go to a concert?
No, I didn't.
Did you go to a theater?
No, I didn't. Try harder.
I give up. Just tell us. Where were you?
Well, I was at a science festival.
Really?
How was it?
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. I listened to some young Australian scientists.
I guess they talked about kangaroos and dingoes, huh?
No, they didn't. They talked about earthquakes and volcanoes.
Wow.
And at the end of the lecture, I talked to them.
Really? Did you ask for their autographs?
No, I didn't. But you know what? We exchanged our email addresses. We promised to stay in touch.
So, what are they talking about? They're talking about the weekend. Razgovaraju o vikendu. Where was Peter? Peter was at the science festival. Joe stayed in bed because of. He stayed in bed because of a stomach ache. Ben was at the cinema. The scientists were from Australia. They talked about volcanoes. The scientists gave Peter their email addresses. So, what was Joe's weekend like? What did Ben watch at the cinema? Where was Peter? Who did Peter listen to? Jeste li primijetili da završetak pravilnih glagola u past simplu, nastavak d ili jed, izgovaramo na 3 različita načina? Ponekad ga izgovaramo samo kao glas d, ponekad kao glas t, a ponekad kao i d. Listen and sort out words in the correct column. Poslušaj zvučni zapis i rasporedi glagole u ispravan stupac s obzirom na izgovor. To jest s obzirom na to, hoćeš li na kraju čuti glas d, t ili i d.
Stayed, watched, listened, enjoyed, talked, exchanged, promised, asked, wanted, moved, walked, jumped, developed, invented, lived, studied, climbed, looked, tried, touched.
Provjeri jesi li ovaj zadatak ispravno riješio. Pauziraj video i provjeri. Open your exercise book, page 35. Read the sentences and write the words next to their translation. So, to defend yourself from someone means to protect yourself. To drag someone means to pull them somewhere they don't want to go. To fill in means to write all the information needed. To kidnap someone means to take them somewhere by force. To escape means to run away and save yourself. To accuse someone of something means to say that they are guilty of something. To damage something means to ruin it so that it's no good any longer. To sneak means to go somewhere secretly and quietly. To arrest someone means to put them in prison. Pa idemo napisati riječi na engleskom jeziku. Dakle, defend, braniti se. Drag, vuči. Fill in, ispuniti. Kidnap, oteti. Escape, pobjeći. Accuse, optužiti. Damage, oštetiti. Sneak, ušuljati se. Arrest, uhititi. Read the weird news. Choose the words in task 1 to complete the text. Pročitaj i riječima iz prvog zadatka nadopuni tekstove. Pauziraj video i pokušaj riješiti ovaj zadatak. Nakon što si riješio ovaj zadatak, listen to the news and check. Poslušaj zvučne zapise na sljedećim poveznicama i provjeri.
An 8-year-old girl defended herself from a man who tried to kidnap her from her home. It was around midnight. Everybody was asleep. The man entered her house through the window. Then he climbed the stairs and sneaked into the girl's room. He grabbed her and tried to drag her down the stairs. The little girl was shocked, but she didn't panic. She used a kung fu move on his neck and escaped. The police arrested a 91-year-old lady in the Museum of Modern Art yesterday. They accused her of damaging one of the paintings. Mrs. Cross visited the museum with her friends. She looked at the exhibits. She liked the exhibition very much. After some time, she was quite tired and tried to find a place to sit down and relax. Then she spotted a large crossword puzzle. She was happy to see it because she's a real crossword puzzle fan. She filled the crossword. This was an expensive mistake. The crossword puzzle was a work of art worth £65,000, and she damaged it.
Rješavanjem ovog zadatka došli smo do kraja našeg današnjeg sata. Nadam se još jednom da ste svi ok, da ste imali snage riješiti ove zadatke koji su bili pred vama i držite se. Nadam se da se vidimo uskoro. Pozdrav!